Zach and Miles, and we are the creators of Jeremiah 29:7.
And you can find us on Twitter at Jeremiah297 or at our homepage at Jeremiah297.webs.com.
Today we're going to do a segment on American exceptionalism, and we're going to try to clear up the gray areas and answer the questions of whether America is, was, or could continue to be an exceptional nation.
And, you know, we're in election season right now. We're in the middle of a very heated battle between the right and the left, the conservative and the liberal statists. And as conservatives, you know, we understand that there are two diametrically opposed mindsets to this idea of American exceptionalism. And we hope to, in this video, kind of, give a good grasp, get a good hold on to what this idea of American exceptionalism really is. And as a conservative, we do believe that America was founded as an exceptional nation, and through our creed of a Constitution and Declaration of Independence, we've been given a good head start, and we've basically walked in step with the idea that we are an exceptional nation, we are a great nation, and the liberal statist position is just completely false. It's a myth, and it can't stand in order for us to continue to be a great nation. And right. we're going to basically try and define the idea of an American exceptionalism, and through that we're going to go to the former editor-in-chief of Imprimis, which is basically a publication of Hillsdale College. His name is Norman Potteritz, and he takes basically this idea of American exceptionalism and breaks it up into three separate pieces. And first, he basically he lays out the foundation with, we're an exceptional nation because of the belief that all men are created equal. And that's it's a self-evident truth, and the Declaration of Independence states that very clearly. And what that basically means is that the individual's fate isn't decided by who his father is, but by his own ambition, or as the founders put it, his own pursuit of happiness. And the second idea, or the second principle of American exceptionalism, basically just states that the only qualification to become an American was to pledge allegiance to the republic and the principles in which it believes in and for which it stood. All other nations require, or to become a citizen and become a member of that society, is basically based on your birth, if you by blood, by lineage, or your rootedness in the soil. And thirdly, and we feel like as a Christian organization, most importantly, we're an exceptional nation because the rights of Americans is understood to come from God, our Father, and these rights are inalienable rights that can't be taken from us. And we really hold really strong to those truths. And I guess next we want to kind of go into this idea of the liberal statist mindset of why they oppose us. So the liberal statist leader of some sorts right now would most people consider Barack Obama, the Democratic candidate for president and our actual president right now as we stand. So basically, what he thinks about American exceptionalism, I guess the best way to find out what he believes is to ask him himself. So, Barack, what do you believe about American exceptionalism?
Well, Miles, I believe in American exceptionalism. Just as I suspect that the Brits believe in British exceptionalism. And the Greeks probably believe in Greek exceptionalism.
You heard it here first, folks.
Alright, now, on a more serious note, that is an actual quote by President Barack Obama. And, quite frankly, I find the mindset that he has to be pretty foolish. Of course, the British and the Greeks found themselves as exceptional because they were born there, but it's not the same type of exceptionalism that we as Americans know. Kind of as a parallel to what Miles explained earlier, Americans are exceptional because of their belief that we're created equal, whereas other countries believe that you have to gain your equality. You aren't created by God as an equal. In America, when you're born, you are equal with the president, you are equal with the senators, you are equal with the rich businessman and the poor. You are all Americans. Also, the only qualifications for becoming an American is to pledge allegiance to the Republic. And that cannot be argued with any other country in the world that has that kind of freedom. Other countries, there are things that you can join that country, but you're never going to be as good as the bureaucrats. The Brits, for example, if you're born in a bureaucratic royalty family, you will always be royalty. And, in America, just because you're the president's son doesn't mean you won't be living in the gutter or on the streets, if you don't create your happiness for yourself. And that's the American way, and the capitalistic way is to gain your own success, and that nobody can stop you from achieving that.
No one can take that away from you. And like you said, lastly, our rights, like I said, have been given to us by our Creator, by God. And in other nations, our rights were given to us by the human equivalents, kings, princes, and sometimes parliaments. But here in America, we truly believe that our rights are inalienable, and they were given to us by God. And I would also mention, what Zach was talking about with our nation being founded, or rather, in order to become a citizen of our nation, that we must pledge, allegiance to our republic, but we should also pledge allegiance to the principles in which our, republic stands for.
Absolutely. And we also have a few other quotes. We really just want to grasp this idea of not just the exceptionalism of America, but how we're more exceptional than other countries, or how our exceptionalism has a deeper root. We have a quote here from Dinesh D'Souza, who was a student that came from India to America to go to college, and I'll kind of let Miles expound on that.
Yeah, Dinesh D'Souza, he actually created the recent movie 2016, Obama's America, and he's just a conservative enthusiast. He was born in India and came to America to go to Dartmouth College, and basically, when asked in an interview what his idea of American exceptionalism is, he says that my definition of American exceptionalism is one of identifying the ways in which America is unique in the world. First of all, America is unique in being a country founded, in a sense, by a group of people sitting around a table. Other countries have been founded by accidents of force. America is a creation of thought, which is great, great statement right there in and of itself.
I mean, basically, other countries, when people found land or conquered land, their goal was to conquer, divide, and gain wealth for themselves. The founders of America sat down and said, what has been wrong with government up until this point, and how can we fix it? They believed in small government and prosperity of the people.
So, in an essence, our nation was a nation not built by brute force, but it's a nation built on ideals. And just to continue with the quote, he also says, basically, that a second aspect of American exceptionalism is that while in other countries, citizenship is a function of birth and blood, like we talked about earlier, you become an American by assimilating to a certain way of life, a certain aspiration. And we would, expound on that and say that's the American dream. That's what we're supposed to assimilate to. That's what we're supposed to strive to do as American citizens. And then just to continue, he says, and third, America has been a kinder, gentler superpower than traditional empires have been. So he says, what does the doctrine of American exceptionalism empower the United States to do? Nothing more than to act better than traditional empires committed to looting and conquest have done. So that's American exceptionalism, an exceptionalism based on noble ideas that hold itself to based on noble ideas that it holds itself to, even when it falls short of them.
And kind of to bring it down to a more personal level, my father is a small business owner. He owns a construction company, and he hired a Hispanic American man that had immigrated here from Mexico, and he hired him, and he told him, work with me this week and we'll pay you at the end of the week. And my dad paid the man $100 a day to do the work that was asked of him. And on that Friday, when my dad gave him $500, the man just broke down on my dad's shoulder and cried and said, the man just couldn't. He tried to give the money back to my dad because he felt he had never experienced the exceptionalism of the American capitalistic system, and he didn't grow up in a society where a man was rewarded for his work ethic. And that's in America. You can succeed as much as you want to. The man worked hard, so he was rewarded, and you don't see that anywhere else in the world.
Absolutely. And basically, in a sense, you hear the verbiage that America is the land of opportunity, and I truly believe it is. And you can ask any immigrant that comes to this country, as well as any born and bred citizen of the United States. We have the opportunity to succeed and to grow and to move past the state of life that we're in right now. And to kind of come to a closing, Thomas Paine in his pamphlet Common Sense, he says that the cause of America is in a great measure the cause of all mankind. And all the founders believed this, that America was founded on the basis of freedom and liberty and not tyranny. And as conservatives, we believe that this nation has given us that, and we can pursue more freedom and more liberties as we continue on in our lives.
Right. So we really just challenge you to really dig into this subject of American exceptionalism and why we are exceptional, and why we don't need to give in to this false mindset that that we aren't as exceptional as we once were, and that we're not going to be as exceptional as we are now.
So, like we said before in our previous videos, we aim to serve you guys, to encourage you guys to not only seek in your Bible, seek in your studies, basically to...
Yeah. What we're doing right now should just be reiterating the homework that you're already doing on your own. So make sure you check out the website. We're going to be posting up some more news links. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on our Facebook. Wow, that was showing my age there. But basically, we just want y'all to inform yourselves and make sure you participate in the election coming up.
Absolutely. Be informed. Stay informed. We love you guys. Come check us out again.